are now tuned to BS3 Network.
It is it is us, the Fourcast, which may be the Twocast tonight, coming at you every week the same time, reviewing movies, films, documentaries, a completely different way, 4 different perspectives. Tonight, we're doing a continuation of OJ Made in America. So this will be part 4. It's a 5-part series. We took a week off. We had Memorial Day. I think we had a Stars game. We had something else going on. So, but we're back. We'll also next week we'll have Al High on. He was the one that recommended this, so we'll get him on the show for the final episode or final part of this. A-Trap, man, good to see you.
Good to be seen and not viewed.
Right, exactly. Hey, good to be on this side of the dirt.
Man, the daisies look way better from this angle.
Right. Man. All right. So in this part 4, let me give you the brief kind of description of what this one was about. And in each kind of part, it goes into OJ's life. It goes into what OJ did, what he didn't do, what he allegedly did, kind of going different parts of his life. So the crime of the century gave way to the trial of the century, which officially began in January 1995. At that point in time, I was 13 years old. So, man, that was a very long time ago for everybody, to say the least. It would be nothing before it, nor nothing that's come since and reshaped the landscape of the media and truly American culture all along the way. It would also be the fight of OJ's life. So, man, this one kind of opens up, and this one dives deep into Mark Fuhrman, who, a guy that had actually a record of being a racist and had, a lot of sketchy background movements and all types of stuff. But as they open this part, and and Mark Fuhrman's on there, what are you thinking about?
This is, what first thing I literally said to myself, this is America. This is America. Because as I look at this, it took me back to episode 2 when everybody couldn't understand why Black people were so upset about Rodney King.
Right.
But you can see clearly how this was true. Yeah. Without a reasonable doubt, and it's just, and this is what we live with in America. Like, we have a brief picture of this via what's the young lady name? Caitlin Carter and other young lady, Cheyenne. Caitlin Clark and Cheyenne Carter.
Yeah,
it was in the Chicago Tribune.
Yeah,
said this would be criminal. This would be assault if it was in public.
Come on.
And the rest of the world is going, really? I literally tweeted out that this is why America will always be fractured. I quote tweeted it. I pulled up that article and I quote tweeted it. This is why America will always be fractured.
Yeah. I agree with you. And I think, one of the, and thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate the comments, the support. Make sure to subscribe to all of the platforms, BS3 Network, Queen 3 and King, the Fourcast, and the End of the Bench Media on YouTube. We're also live on Roku TV. Go to your Roku TV or device, BS3 TV. Make sure to add that or download that. A lot of great content on there, different content on there for everybody. So we appreciate the support. Let me get to a quick comment. Letitia Porter, thank you for tuning in. Man, looking real death row type photo on that Abby right there, man. You know that not actual death row, but you know the death row photo with Tupac and Snoop and all them. Yeah, you looking real stoic on there. Real stoic on there. So appreciate you for coming through. But yeah, this is real quick on the Caitlin Clark situation. Like if you playing basketball anywhere and it gets hype, that kind of stuff happens all the time. Like if you was playing at the, all these Lifetime Fitness games that these guys having, in the off season, I guarantee you it's probably going to be somewhat of a fight just because it's competition. That's what happens. As long as nobody's getting, it's like above the rim, as long as nobody goes to the bench, get their backpack and come back with a gun, it's all good. It's all just, it's all fun and competition. And I think another thing is, we get off on tangents and stuff, but I think this competition is lacking. Everybody thinks they need to get something, the participation trophy thing, like it's competition. Somebody's supposed to lose. Somebody's supposed to be upset at the end. I get you shake hands at the end, but you should be pissed off that you lost. And yeah, a lot of these guys are friends. I get it, but when you get in between those lines, I think this was Angel Reese. I think said this, or maybe it was Ajay Wilson, or one of the ladies in the WNBA was like, "Yeah, when we in between these lines, we playing. I'm not your friend. We're not cool.
AJ,
we can hang out, So
AJ, she left-handed. You got to say her name right. Got to say her name right, man. She left-handed.
Appreciate that. Not
Anthony
in the building. Bishop, brother Brian, man, he giving you a bunch of titles, man.
That's Anthony. Excuse me. DJ Mad Knox.
I'm loving seeing you guys on StreamYard, man. I love to see you guys' faces and getting into the StreamYard game. I think it's great for the content, great for all of us. We continue to advance and build. So I love seeing what you guys are doing. But let me get to this other comment. I look at it as they letting these rookies know that this is big time, big leagues. This is no college. Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a initiation point, even when you're on your own team. I don't know how much of this they still do, but they'll have the rookies carry the bags. They'll have the rookies pay for the meal. I mean, like this is a part of you growing up.
Initiation.
Yes, exactly. This is a part of you growing up into becoming a pro athlete. This isn't college. Everybody's not your friend. It's not going to be lovey-dovey. They're not going to take it easy on you. And I think Caitlin Clark knows that. That's the bigger point. And that goes into the media with this OJ trial and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knows that she's not going to be treated like the savior. So if she's not complaining, what is the point of everyone else coming to her defense when she has no issue with it? At least I haven't heard her say she had an issue with it.
Dude, she be out there woofing, man. So she know what it is. She's out there whooping. And what people I don't know if they're showing this outside of Chicago, but Caitlin elbowed that woman in the face the play before that.
Yeah. So, no, they're not, because I haven't seen that part.
Yeah. She elbowed her in the face. That's what that was about. And then we talk about a shoulder to the back. It wasn't an elbow to the face. That's sports. You push me, I'm gonna push you. That's baseball, brushing you off the mound. That's exactly. Basketball, hitting you with a cheap shot. It ain't dirty. It's just, hey man, you got to earn this, Rook. I played boxing as an underclassman. I got licked a few times, man. I remember this freshman came out when I was a junior, and he was stiff arming fools, and I cracked him. I'm like, wait a minute, man. Practice, though.
Yeah, what are you doing here, man?
No, none of that. I cracked him.
Yeah. We're not gonna make this. Man, it's not gonna be even. You're not gonna come over here and show us up. And that's exactly what's happening.
Also, I tweeted out as you previously, you just stated. This is a result of the world being introduced to participation trophies. Participation trophies breed the inability for physicality.
Good
If
point.
you are not used to getting cracked, oh man, I'm supposed to get this. Now you got to earn this.
Right.
If you ain't,
It's not gonna be given to you.
right. Thank God, I've never been cut in my life. Every team I ever tried out for, I made it. Even in basketball, my weakest sport, I made the bet. I didn't start. I got tick. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So you got to earn it.
Yeah. This is not. It's not gonna be given. And anything you do, that's anything you do in life, man. A lot of it's not gonna be handed to you. You really do have to work for it, put the work in. And let me get to this other comment. The fact that we're all talking about the WNBA now after 20 plus seasons, that they have been going is amazing. It is. And I think so it's kind of twofold. I mean, you have better, I'm not gonna say better, but you have the media again. You have people with their image, again, going back to OJ's image, which we'll touch on that. But like the name, image, and likeness, and all of these things that have happened has been a benefit for the WNBA because you got the Caitlin Clarks, you got the Angel Reese. I mean, hell, Candace Parker during her time was really kind of a person that came in and took the game to a whole nother level. So, a lot of these things has contributed to the WNBA. And so, look, if you're on a WNBA team, you shouldn't be complaining at all because this is going to help you. Now, the outside media and all that, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Conan A. Smiths, the Uncle Clown, Shay Shay. They need to just hush, man. I don't rock with them anyway, but
hey, and Stephen A. got called out today. I don't know if you've seen that,
man. Monica McNutt slapped him around.
Keep it 1,000. He was like, "What you mean? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking about your platform." But this is what we need. I mean, we at the end of the day, we got to hold each other accountable. And if it happens to be in that moment, because who knows, she might have talked to him about it in the background or whatever. But sometimes we need to hold ourselves accountable.
She slapped him. Slapped him.
The two-piece. Somebody said you just got knocked the F out. Somebody should have said that. So it should have got.
And he was in his feelings. Because later on,
he was.
Podcast, he said, "I made them." You really? What? Yeah.
That's what we doing.
That's what he.
That's what we doing.
The man cut from that Skip Bayless tree. And when you cut from that Skip Bayless tree, Skip Bayless wrote
stuff you
Mayor
say.
Hill a 4-page letter saying, "I made you." He did the same thing.
Man, wow. Yeah, Knox. Yeah. All right, so Mark Furman, they kind of led in with him in this one. They talked about Nicole's safety deposit box, how she had a letter in there. She had some things in there. Obviously, she got murdered. Like that part, we all know. That part is no mystery. But this one really dived into the trial. And when you have money, they said he was paying $50,000 a day. But OJ is no dummy. Okay, OJ's in jail signing autographs. I mean, he making $3 million off of that. He was still making money because like the saying is, you're innocent till proven guilty. So you can make money. That's no issue. But the Goldmans, man, the Goldmans wanted every last dime. Man, if he made anything, if he made $2, man, the Goldmans wanted that. And we talked about, that in the past, how Nicole, I haven't seen Nicole, well, her sister is the only one I think that we've seen so far. The Pops and everybody else, they ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just makes it seem extremely fishy to me. I mean, I actually respect Ron Goldman's dad. Ron Goldman's dad is acting like a father who lost his child.
Right, exactly.
The Browns are acting like they know something that we don't know, if you ask me.
Right. Hey, Knox, you ain't wrong there. OJ was a low key pimp. OJ had, that Nate Dogg song. OJ had him in every area code, man. Hey, OJ, and he wasn't, wasn't no shame. Now, I think the biggest thing that pointed out to me in this one was when you have a team of Cochran, F. Bailey, right, and you had the other guy, I don't remember his name, but the one that was showing the Douglas, and you had Kardashian. I mean, when you have a team and you're going against Darden and you're going against Marshall Clark, who, no, they weren't bad, but that's 5 against 2. So if you think of the amount of energy and time and the amount of research they were able to do compared to the two of them, they were already outnumbered.
But you know what? Think about it. On the surface, it looks like they were outnumbered, right? But were they really outnumbered? You got a $3 million, it cost them what, $15, $20 million to do this?
Yeah.
What's $15, $20 million to the city of Los Angeles?
Nothing. Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah,
so on the surface, it makes it look like, oh my God, OJ had the greatest team in the history of the world because he couldn't be beat. But he wasn't going up against BS3 or the head of the bench.
Right.
He's going up against the city of Los Angeles, one of the richest, most affluent cities in the United States of America. So let's not act like they were out there with Manny Moe and Jack.
Right.
It's one of the richest cities in America. So come on, man. That's a misnomer when they present those things to us as if he was up against the lost city of Los Angeles. Just when we said the city of Los Angeles,
Los
Angeles right. County versus OJ Simpson. Are we really going to stand around and believe that the city of Los Angeles does not have the financial fortitude to defeat whoever you put in front of them?
To do whatever they want. Yeah, true.
Come on, man. Stop. True. And we this is the narrative that we've been fed since the word go. True. So this is why I start squinting when I hear these things, man. This is why I'm glad we did this. Initially I was like, it'll be okay. But I'm glad we revisited this.
Yeah. And I think there's always something that you can see. Obviously the next time around, there's obviously different things that come up, and I think one thing also that people don't, I think, give enough credit to is OJ throughout this entire trial. Like, he was involved. He was in the meetings. He was like, "Hey, man, straighten up your face, man. Hey, you got this on." Hey, so I think you gotta realize too that, and obviously his life was on the line, so you would be involved. But I think for him to see that, I think was a big thing that people don't really mention.
Yeah, man. But see, the thing is, let's look at the reality of it. Most people are not involved in their defense. They allow the F. Lee Bailey, they allow the Johnny Cochran, they will allow these guys to do their thing.
Do their job.
Or they took a front row seat and said, no, I'm in on this. Because any mishaps, I'm going to jail. I'm not going to jail. I'll be getting out tomorrow. You know what I mean? He's been getting out a couple weeks before he died. I'm getting up out of here, man. I'm not doing this.
And what's up, Theodore? Yes, it is the 2-piece or the 2Cast tonight. Happy belated birthday as well. We missed your birthday. We didn't do a show in between that time, so hopefully you enjoyed it at a great time. And I think when if your life is on the line, obviously you don't know what you're gonna do. Number one, so people that say, "I would have did this," or "I would have did that," you don't really know until you're in that situation. And I like the young. I don't have his name, but I like he was young during that time. But the young lawyer, he's older now, but his insight, I love when he comments, because he's giving it really, because obviously Johnny Cochran's not here anymore, so he's giving the take on what was really going on, and so I appreciate his insight. Yeah, I appreciate his insight in this whole thing, because he's really Carl Douglas. Yeah, he's really I think the one that's been a nice addition to this. Obviously, you have all the other lawyers that are in it, but yeah, I think he's really giving his insight has been nice to have. And what's up, Al in the building? Thank you for tuning in. She said the big 6-0, man. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause for sure. And yeah, man. What'd you say?
She's up there.
I mean, in this changed, the game forever as far as trial on TV, and I think the purpose initially was to bring you into the courtroom so you understand what happens in the legal process, which it did do that, but also you gotta use that to your advantage, which I don't think Marsha Clark and Darden did. But when you look at the other side, man, they decided what they were going to wear on certain days, the way they walked in, the swagger makes a difference. I mean, all of that stuff, lines up. And I think if you're how you present yourself and how you go about the trial makes a huge difference. And if you're just complaining about what they're doing, but you don't really have anything to combat it, which is exactly what I believe Marsha Clark and Darden were doing. They were more on they weren't proactive. They were responding to what was happening, but they were already behind the ball game.
See, what annoys me about this entire situation is this. Okay, just like I walked into this, this is my second go round with this docuseries, right?
Yeah.
I walked into this saying, hey man, I think he might have known, but it is what it is. I don't think he did it. And now here it is almost 30 years later, I'm sitting here going, man, ain't no way he did this. And you know what? For all intents and purposes, I don't think he could have done it. You know what I mean? I don't even think he was involved. If I can evolve from that point, how is it that these people, I understand this was 2016, this is 8 years ago. Yeah. I understand. It's 8 years ago, they put it about 20 years at that point. But in 20 years, are you telling me, even if you think he did it, how is it that your stance is mirrored to what it was 20 years before?
Right. Exactly.
That's what disturbs me about this entire thing.
Yeah.
The DNA guy, he was doing flat lawyer stuff. He was speaking as an attorney. But I get it. But no, man, I ain't trying to hear this, man.
Yeah, I mean that's like people that say, it's slavery. Just get over it. It was a long time ago. That's that same type of mindset. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it affects you even if you weren't actually there. We've seen all these films and movies and Eyes on the Prize and all of these things that it still affects you. That's your ancestors. So, I mean, but yeah. And my question is, how does Marsha Clark look better in this documentary than what she did 20 years ago? Now, obviously she's older, but she must have got some work done or something. She looked
well, she's millionaire now too. Millionaire. Most millionaires look better than thousandaires.
You can take
college.
College. She took care of herself. Yeah.
No, she started eating all fruit.
Right. She became vegan.
She's a vegan, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is a microcosm of what's going on in America today. Like me and Big Illinois was talking about Candace Owen today. I saw this TikTok thing, and I hate when I see political stuff on my TikTok. I'll be trying to laugh. I use TikTok laughter. But this interviewing Candace Owen, and she was like, "See, it started. You don't know what the conversation was about, but she said, see, I don't know anyone who's using their degree who went to college." And the dude who interviewed her, he was like us. He's a Joe Blow. He goes, "What did you go to school for?" She was like, "Journalism." He was like, "Isn't that what you're doing right now?" And her response was, atypical media trained individual. She went, pivoted, and said, "Well, I grew up poor. See, you don't understand. I had to get student loans." And then he goes off on a tangent about how Fast Forward should have paid off her student loans. But That's not what she was talking about. She
Right.
did this. That's media training 101, as I told people
Right.
in Illinois. When you are greeted with a question that will destroy your actual point, you go in another direction. And
Right.
that's what she did. And that's what these people are doing. I'm not going to address the fact that the LAPD has lied and created false
Shade.
narratives in the past. Right.
Right.
I'm going to say, well, he looks guilty. And I will still say rage, anger to put your hands on somebody is one thing. What we saw is a whole nother level of rage.
Yeah.
And their comments, if you ask me, exonerated OJ.
Yeah.
Because at no point did this escalate to a brutal beating. And they kept saying, but he would calm himself down instantly. But he would calm himself down instantly. But he would even when he had a bat. Remember, Furman said, I drove up on him.
Right.
He had a bat. All he
Right.
did at that moment was bust out her windows, meaning you ain't going nowhere. You're going to deal with what we're dealing with right now, in my opinion.
Yeah. And it's no doubt at all that he was abusive. I think what they didn't show is going from abuse, which again is not good, but going from abuse to slitting somebody's throat.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge jump, and I think that's the part that they didn't prove. And even the jury. Let me give a quick shout out, Pussycat in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. What's up, CJ? He said, what's good? It's going to be a series. Yes, we have been doing this series. The last one will be next week, and then we'll get back to some other things. But make sure to check out CJ's channel, Plays by CJ. Don't play it at work. Don't play it loud.
I can play it at work.
You can play it. Hey, but if I played that, I'll have to close the door. But hey, CJ, you doing your thing, man. Real quick. Proud of you. Keep doing your thing. But yeah, they didn't prove it, and I think one of the jurors said it didn't add up. Like you're saying that you're trying to connect things, but it didn't connect. And then another juror made a really good point, which I did want to touch on this, and any ladies in the chat, give your comments as well. But when you think of a woman or a man that stays in an abusive relationship, and she said, you lose respect. But and I wanted to talk about that because I think it's not always easy to get out of the relationship. You obviously have emotional ties in the relationship, and then by the time you do leave, this comes down to where you're gonna go, what are you gonna do, I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the older lady. The older lady said,
I'm keeping it 1,000.
Take no wet woman if you ain't got to take no wet woman. I was like, oh.
If the water over your head, you need to not go under the water. She was here.
Yeah.
Old school.
I think she was being a bit insensitive, but that was the times that we were living in as well.
Mm-hmm.
The other juror made a greater impact to me. He gave a play-by-play on how they failed Nicole Simpson in regards to prosecuting O.J. Simpson.
Yeah,
I truly believe that. And again, if you look at all the facts, you will always come to this same conclusion. Unless if you removed, all I want to know, this is something, I'm gonna ask you this. Do you think John Smith would have been exonerated if you just give all the same facts? This is not Orenthal Simpson. This is just John Smith and Jane Doe and John Doe. John and Jane Doe get killed by John Smith. Exact same situation.
Yeah.
Does he go to do John Smith? Does John Smith go to jail?
John Smith would go to jail.
You think so? I'm talking about no, exact same situation. John Smith got that bread, and these two over here. The exact same situation, just remove or better yet, better question. Extract that from the record. If we presented this to the world, it's John Smith may have killed John and Jane Doe. I'm talking about to the letter.
Mm-hmm.
Remove the OJ portion. What happens?
Now is that person? That's just a regular person, regular Joe.
Joe Smith kills Jane and John Doe. We don't know these people. We just the whole world just happened to tune in on court TV, and we saw John and Jane Doe get murdered by John Smith. John got that paper. They on his heels. The cops on his heels. The exact same situation is, does this dude go to jail?
No. Because they didn't prove it.
Mm-hmm.
They tried. I think they tried to. Let's see. No, not guilty all day, says Al. And I think with John guilty.
Okay.
I don't think they proved it well enough. Now I do think color does make a difference. Or race does make a difference, because there was also a comment here by the reporter that said if this was OJ and Marguerite, he probably would have been in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that, because I think it's not as flashy. I think also, to be honest, it's two black people in a trial that it's not going to get that much attention. And it's like, well, he did it. Just go ahead and handle it. But I do think with this particular trial, which the jury even said you tried to connect it together. Also, to your point with the LAPD, you're like, yeah, they've been bad before, but in this trial, in this case, they got it right, and clearly they didn't, because they just, the Johnny Cochran and his team just demolished everything. It was like, so when they had the guy on the stand and they said, so you don't think it's right to pick up evidence with your bare hand, right? And he was like, well, no, you shouldn't do that. It's like, so did you pick it up? It's like, no. It's like, well, let's roll the tape. I'm like, man, that was number one. The whole glove, it was being moved, it was in a bag. They brought it back to the crime scene. So this was really LAPD on trial. Then really what was it OJ being on trial?
Exactly. Look at it this way. We attempted to accuse OJ of we believe that OJ could potentially be a murderer because he was an abuser, right? His track record of abuse, spousal abuse, makes you believe he has the ability to snap, go to the next level, and destroy two lives. That's what we're led to believe, correct?
Yep.
The exact same track record is on the other side. Y'all have a history of killing people for no reason. Y'all have a history of planting evidence. Y'all have a history of being crooked. So why would we believe y'all and make OJ? Because if he's guilty of murder, if he's capable of murder, you're capable of planting evidence. That puts us right back in the middle again.
Right.
So the scales of justice are even at this point. You're diabolical and murderous, and you're crooked. That means we're sitting here with two pieces of evil. Now let's see which evil is worse. And that's what we had to do.
Right. Yeah. And again, you watch the other parts of this. This was in between Rodney King. This was during different things that happened throughout the city. So it wasn't like this was a one-off situation. There was a lot of things that happened around this. CJ said, man, I don't know. I think that that nigga did it, but we can't prove it. So I don't know, man. And it's hard, again, it's hard for one person to kill two people. So I don't think, I think he was somewhat involved, but I don't think he did it. Just to me, it would be wild for one person to do that. And let me see. No, because the blood was on his vehicle. And what she said, it was a mixture of his, it was Goldman's, it was also Nicole's. So
I got two questions for Pussycat and CJ.
Yeah.
If y'all have seen this story, you've seen OJ, and we're gonna get into that in a second. You've seen OJ put on these gloves and pretend that they were too small. What's up? What's up, Trey?
Yeah, what's up? What's up,
Pop
Trey
shop.
Maestro?
Been in the pop shop a couple weeks, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's what's up. Make sure to follow. Make sure to subscribe. Barbershop Sports Talk.
But you see OJ now, as Pussycat just stated, it was blood on the vehicle, right? And it was blood in the vehicle. Now, according to Pussycat and CJ, they think he did. I'm assuming because Pussycat never said anything, but his blood was there. The easiest way to prove OJ did it was this. We saw OJ hold his hands up with these two little gloves on, right? Mm-hmm. But at no point did they circle it and say, and this is where that cut came from on his hand. Because that's the easiest way to put him in jail. Forget the DNA.
Yeah.
If I cut my hand to the point where it was cut open, that means those gloves have a cut in them.
True.
That means those gloves, and we saw those gloves, and they had no rips or tears in them, correct?
Yeah, true.
So, and anybody's, have you ever had a cut on your hand or on your finger or something like that? That thing bleeds insanely. Just a little cut on your hand, you would think you hit a major artery. You're like, good God, it's bleeding, right?
Yeah.
Now, I have been in a vehicle with a person who had been shot. And they were sitting in the back seat of the vehicle. And it was blood in the front seat of the vehicle. It was blood all over the car. Now, if that can happen with a gunshot wound, decapitation, it should be blood everywhere. True. It shouldn't be.
If that glove was used.
Exactly.
As it was
you don't see blood on the steering wheel, you see blood on the floor. You see some blood on the car. I find it difficult to believe that someone can decapitate someone. Again, I don't know how old y'all parents are. My mother would have been 77 years old this year. I got an aunt who I just took to the grocery store today. She's 80 years old. I don't think I could jump my 77-year-old mother and my 80-year-old aunt at the same time and walk away with only a scratch on my hand.
Yeah.
If y'all can explain to me, CJ or Pussycat, if y'all can explain to me how that happened, then I'm done. He did.
Yeah.
But I just find it difficult for that.
Yeah, Al said, I think he knew who did it, the mafia. Two people were there, says Pussycat. So he was there. I think he was there and someone else did it. And I mean, this is one of these things that we will never know. OJ's gone. Obviously, two people were gone. If there was someone else or some other people there, I don't think the full truth is ever going to come out. It's between.
It never will.
Yeah, it's God. God is it. Let's see. They took their clothes off at the scene. You're saying the people involved, the murderer. So you don't think he had nothing to do with it or not? Hey, Trap.
Okay. No, I don't. Because, again, man, being a criminal justice major, being immersed in this at the time, what people don't ever tell you is the shoe. Okay. Again, let's go over this from the beginning. We are led to believe, CJ and Pussycat, we're led to believe that a 6'2" man with a size 13 shoe, this dude went home and he got a jagged edge knife. He went and got a ski mask. Now, mind you, this is June, so he had to go get a ski mask. According to the word, he put on a sweatsuit, or it even went as far as say the man had on a scuba diving suit. But I've taken the time. I'm so angry that I went home. I went and got a ski mask. I went and got on a black outfit so I could be inconspicuous. And I put on my $500 loafers. That just, how stupid is that? I mean, this dude has been proven to be wildly intelligent through this entire thing. But
true.
I'm so much enraged that I go put on my $500 shoes, my $500 Bruno Magli shoes, to go kill somebody. Now, I got on these $500 loafers and I decapitate someone. And then, according to reports, and you heard, and you can attest to it if you watch the documentary, they literally say Ron Goldman put up a good fight. Now, I've never been in a good fight where I didn't get hit. Because that if I don't get hit, that traditionally tells me I wasn't in a good fight. That means I dog walked
Yeah.
So I was in a good fight. I don't have any bruises. I don't have any torn tissue in my mouth. I don't have any bruises all over my face, on my body. I don't have a scratch. And I decapitated one person and I stabbed another person 20 plus times. It's 28 or 26 times. So more than 25 times I hit you with a knife, and at no point, what did you just go, OJ, please stop it. And this dude it's been documented that he has a black belt in self-defense.
Yeah.
I put up a good fight, and this dude didn't have a scar.
Scratch. Not a bruise, not on his face, not anywhere.
Now, let's take it back to the last episode. During the car chase. I'm not a psychologist. I don't play one on TV. I only took one psych class, the same psych class you took, Ben, that they make you take.
Yeah.
But a dude who kills someone, is not in the vehicle saying, y'all will never see me the same. He wasn't worried about being found guilty. He was worried about, if I get out of this, y'all not gonna love me anymore. That does not sound like the dude who participated in a murder. That sounds like a dude who's at the cool word of the day, narcissistic, and he is worried about his self-image.
He worried about his image. Yeah.
I'm listening to what they have to say.
Yeah, let me get to the comments. I think he knew who did it. I'm gonna agree with you, Theodore, on that. The other guy did it with him. Maybe she's talking about AC. And now look, AC was loyal. Go back and watch some of the other parts.
Yeah.
AC was loyal. So if he could have had something to do with it, but they did interview him. I'm assuming they got his whereabouts. Where were you? They were able to rule him out, and it seemed like pretty quickly, which again could go to another side of the LAPD and how they really botched this whole thing. Because again, in a trial, it's about how it's presented. It's about how you present your case. And if your case has holes in it, you're probably going to lose. And that's exactly what happened here. To the other guy that killed them, OJ was there. CJ says, facts, A-Trap, can't refute that. And Ron Goldman was 6'1". OJ was 45 with bad knees and arthritis. Don't forget he had to catch a flight to the shot. True. Another good point.
Again, this dude, I'm standing there watching you kill my wife. By the way, I dropped the glove. Look at this, man. I dropped the glove at the scene of the crime. Then I go to the crib and I jump over my back gate and I fall over on my air conditioner, according to K-Lo Kaden. And I drop another glove. Really?
Yeah, that's sloppy. He said no, Charlie did it.
I don't know who Charlie is. But
I think that was something he wrote in his book. I think he put on did something like that.
Look. Even DC Don Curry said, I don't think OJ did it. I don't think the OJs could have made this many mistakes. And that's how I feel, man. It's not adding up. And I was so glad when they showed his socks on the carpet, on the rug in his bedroom. So you mean to tell me I cut somebody, I decapitated someone, and I cut another dude 20 some odd times, and I got to the crib and I dropped a bloody glove behind the crib. So that means I am drenched with blood, and there were no bloody footprints up to the point where these socks. So he just came in the house and just kicked off the socks without touching them. Yeah. And then, by the way, they don't say this on this documentary, but there was no blood found in his drain system.
Yeah.
So I came home, drenched in blood, took a shower, somehow invented a way for the blood not to go down my drain. Y'all ain't found a stitch of clothing in almost 30 years, and I'm juice. I'm out.
Yeah.
Man, it's not adding up, man.
Logically and logistically, it doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't. Now you gotta have, and again, to the cut that was on the coal was what do they call it, a bow tie, or the cut was basically was a ear to ear.
Yeah.
And now with going to the glove point,
they said she had this much meat on her head connected to her body, her torso.
Yeah, which is wow. Now to the point with the let me get to this question real quick. Do you believe he has something to do with it or was there?
No, I don't think he was there or have anything to do with it. I don't. I mean, he comes off as an egomaniac. This dude, like, okay, his whole thing was, I like people thinking I'm OJ. That dude don't kill people. That dude might have somebody. Is it a possibility, Pussycat? It's a great possibility that he could have paid somebody to do it.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think,
but he's in.
Yeah,
this dude is in love with being the juice, and you got the Paula Barbieri chick. You trying to smash her best friend. This dude is feeling himself. Look. I come from the projects of San Francisco. I'm immersed into this wealthy world where people are bowing down to me, and I could turn this thing off. Like a Pussycat, it was episodes. We just did 4 Pussycat. CJ, I want y'all to listen to the 911 calls in episode 3. When he comes in the house, he kicks the door into her crib, yelling and screaming at her, and yells out, I can't believe you sucking this dude, blah, 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 with my kids in the other room.
Yeah.
If you're going to kill somebody or you don't have self-control, that's when you kill
them. Yeah. Now, did he have an anger problem? I would say yes. I think he did. Because you think of you listen to the calls, you listen to the moments where he's in rage. Now, did that anger take you to killing 2 people? I think the answer to that is no. OJ loved OJ. He did.
Yeah.
That is the stereotypical narcissist, like you said, A-Trap, that the term that's being and now I think one of the interesting aspects of this is the Bronco with him. This was in I think two episodes ago. Him in AC, and I think AC was in love with OJ, and I don't know, to what degree.
Yeah,
but he was really one of those people that I believe would have done anything for him, and maybe that was like, hey, I'm gonna pay you this. You just take care of it. I don't care what you do, who you get, or whatever. Take care of it. And maybe maybe AC could have been someone involved, but who knows?
The reason I don't believe, okay, let's take that. The reason I don't believe AC was involved is because AC was making sure he was still in good with white folks at that girl's funeral.
Oh, true.
Yeah. He
was crying and everything.
Wasn't me. Might have been my boy, but wasn't me. That's what they're saying. Man, we went to the Bahamas and she could swim like a fish, and she filled the room with her. He was seeking approval.
Yeah. Let me get to some comments. He said, hell yeah, Ben. LMAO, OJ was tweaking. Don't think he thought he could get away with it. Don't you think he thought he could get away with it? Yeah, definitely. He was OJ. And there was a sense of I'm invincible. It don't matter what I do or don't do. The Hurt CEO was, or former CEO, was all over this documentary. Like, they had a dude with an ascot on. I don't even know who that dude was. It was like, he had people clamoring over him. It didn't matter how high or how low they were. He had people in his hand. So yeah, I think he definitely thought like, this I'm not gonna go down. I think Nicole's parents believe OJ didn't do it.
I'm right there with him. See, I'm right there with him.
Yeah. He was in love with OJ. OJ stole his chick. Yep, that was early on. Yeah, and he again, I felt like he would do anything for him. They drove around in a Bronco on the freeway, and again, another failure of the LAPD. You're basically following him. You're not even attempting to stop him, but you're following him like it's a motorcade. Like, they just didn't handle this right. Optics means everything in court, especially when you got tape of somebody picking up a glove, especially when you got Furman on the stand and he's fumbling like, no, I didn't say nigger. Well, and then it's like, come on, they didn't try hard enough. They just gave a lackluster approach. They felt like the evidence was good enough. And Marsha Clark, for some reason, felt like she had black women in her pocket, which that was the funniest thing, one of the funniest things on this whole thing.
Oh, the funniest thing. But it's atypical. It's atypical. Yeah. I know black people. I got a couple of black friends.
Right.
Me too.
Well, I've been good. You know, I've been able to handle, black people in the past. It's kind of what they're trying to get at. So I mean, it's when you go into it a certain way, thinking that this is easy and we got this in the bag, and real quick you found out you didn't. Even when they were picking the jurors, because that was two episodes ago. Mm-hmm. You couldn't do that well enough. Mm-hmm. It was almost doomed, from the beginning.
Oh, this is a perfect example of foolishness at its best, man. I mean, again, man, look, this dude loved himself so much. He got pictures of himself in his crib, bro. Dude, I've never had
his kids
up of me in my crib, man. All the places I've ever lived, I got pictures of my children. I got pictures of my family. Got pictures of my moms. Got pictures of my pops. Never had a picture of me. I don't even like taking pictures. I'm not even. Check me out.
Pussycat said they all lie. Cops saying I agree with you. I think the Cochran's whole team positioned it. I mean, they changed the photos. They had the guy with the evidence and the blood. I mean, but it does not really matter if you're lying or not. It's what's believable. It's whatever the jury believes. And at the end of the day, they thought it. And I think the other point of this is they didn't think he did it or didn't do it. They don't think they proved that he did it or didn't do it. Mm-hmm. And when you get to that point, you got to go with not guilty.
And let's go. I've been waiting to say this ever since we've been doing this. F. Lee Bailey. My mama died hating F. Lee Bailey. Jack. 1972, really? It was a labor strike here in Illinois, and F. Lee Bailey was the attorney for the union. Uh-oh. My mother got fired. She hated that dude. Then. She hated F. Lee Bailey. Every time I hear F. Lee Bailey, I hear my mother. But every time I see him, I laugh. But F. Lee Bailey made the case for LJ with Mark Furman. Let's just say Mark Furman never said the word nigga. Let's just say that. Mm-hmm. Mark Furman has never said the word nigga. One thing that I know for certain, a liquid that dries up faster than anything I've ever been around in my life is blood. Blood dries up quick. Yeah. But we're to believe that you went to OJ's house 10 hours after and the blood was still there anyway. The bloody glove 10 hours later. Yeah. I don't know what don't dry up in 10 hours.
Yeah.
And if it ain't glue, syrup, molasses, you know what I'm saying? It dries up, man. And that's when I said, this dude didn't do this.
Yeah. And really, when you have someone on the stand, obviously you got to prepare. We've all seen Dateline. We've all seen Law and Order. Like, we've all seen these shows. You have to prepare the person. And when Ship got on there, I mean, when they question him, like, "Oh, well, you had a drinking problem, right?" Like, and then he gets defensive. That don't go well. You're done. And then you bring Furman on there, and his track record is already bad. So you're trying to say, "Oh, I don't do these things anymore. I used to do these things, but I don't do that no more. I'm a changed man." Like, you're already dirty. Let me get to this.
And then you plead the fifth.
Right. There are a lot of unanswered questions. Yeah.
Did you ever say nigga? Nah. He goes to tape that you said nigga.
Right, exactly. Hey, come on. Hey, play that tape, man.
Yeah. Nigga. You thought he was listening to NWA. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's a black comedian. Right. And then you get on the stand, and because okay, I understand pleading the fifth because, okay, I don't want to incriminate myself, and my job is on the line right now. I get it.
Right.
But like the other cop said, when they say, have you ever planted evidence? You pled the fifth, not because for legal purposes I'm protecting myself, because you thought they might have had some proof that you planted more evidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So get out.
It was bad. It was bad. Now, going to the glove, and there was a report. Somebody said this. I don't know who, but he stopped taking. There was a report out or something that he stopped taking his blood pressure medication, with his hand swelled. I mean, like at the end of the day, they should have never did that. And they talked about this. Marshall Clark didn't think they should have did it. There was some other people on their side. I think even on OJ's side, they were like, "This is dumb." But they right, yeah. He was like, "Yeah, you." He said, "What did he say?"
He said, "You got the you have the balls of the size of squirrel. You ain't gonna do it."
Yeah, he basically went like this, like, "You ain't gonna do nothing."
Yeah, and he flinched at him.
He flinched at him, and I mean, so they. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. So they,
hit him with this.
They just put themselves.
Knock the stick off my shoulder.
All right, go ahead and push me. Push me. Who can push me first? So I mean,
this line to be bad.
Yeah, that, and this is a glove that was, I don't know how long the time was, but from when they had the evidence.
10 hours.
Well, I'm saying from when they had the evidence to the time of the trial, and he's trying on a glove that's been in a bat wherever it was. No, it's not going to fit the same, regardless. Like, even if he didn't stop taking his blood pressure medication, it still wouldn't have fit. Let me get to some comments. Plus, OJ was very popular. I was just in Chicago visiting my daughter last weekend. Oh, this was like a reality show. It was a reality show before reality shows came out. This was literally what it was. And that was a whole other thing that backfired on Marshall Clark and Darden. When he pleaded the fifth, that was a wrap. Yeah. Like, you're going to get somebody on the stand, they may not have the cleanest record, but they need to be prepared, because they're going to come with anything that's happened in your past. Like, you was late turning in library books. What does that make you? I mean, it don't matter what it is. They're gonna get digging your past. Yeah, man. So at part 4, we're gonna do part 5 next week, and this one really, again, just dived into the trial. Real quick, part 5. Let me see what part. Let me give you a quick description of part 5. Al, definitely, we ready to get you on next week. Everything should be a go. I don't think we have anything that could be interfering. So, part 5, O.J. Simpson's acquittal for murder divided trial followers, but he would be sent to prison 13 years later after being arrested. And so, when this is going on, he is in prison for that, stealing his own merchandise. So they'll probably get into that. I don't know. They may interview him or not. What's up, man? What's up, Wilkes, in the building? I know, man. You out sick. You called in today, but we love you, man. Get back, get well, get back to that fighting shape. But final thoughts on this part 4.
My final thoughts on this is this: whether we believe, like Pussycat and CJ, they believe that he may be guilty. There's nothing wrong with that, but this, to me, it is a picture perfect example of how this criminal justice system is flawed, and we need to revamp it, because we'll get into this a little bit in the last episode. Reasonable doubt and the preponderance of evidence is the difference of OJ going to jail and being sued. Reasonable doubt. A reasonable mind will infer. In my mind, a reasonable mind does not allow me. I view myself as a reasonable individual. I cannot see one person destroying 2 people and walking away without a scratch. Yeah. And the only thing you tell me, he had cuts on this hand. But so OJ's a ninja now. You know what I mean? So, I have an issue with one dude killing 2 people, walking around without a bruise. Forget the fact that he killed. Okay, let's just say O.J. Simpson is the greatest killer in the history of the world. But according to Kato Kaler, he jumped the back fence and fell over on the air conditioner. I don't know about y'all. If you fall over on a piece of steel, you usually get a bruise.
Yeah. At 45 years old, And this isn't a regular 45-year-old man. This is a guy that played professional football. Body is not the same at all. He's not hopping any fences. He's probably not even hopping that fence if he had a ladder.
And how about this? You're 45 years old. I don't know. Okay, in 38 minutes, he got from Bundy to Rockingham, jumped the gate, did all this, took a shower to wash off all the blood. You cannot find the shoes. You cannot find the clothes. You cannot find traces of blood. And then he went to Chicago. And what y'all don't know, man, this used to be the show on A&E with Bill Curtis. They did this. I saw this years ago, man. I'll never forget this as long as I live. They show O.J. Simpson shaking hands via the airport security with the hand that he had to cut on. I can't make this up.
Yeah. And I'll say it doesn't matter if it's true or not, if it happened or didn't. Your defense and your way you present and present your case and defend the defendant is exactly how it's going to go. And they did a masterful job picking apart every single witness, every single person that came on the stand at his house. They were strategic. That is the difference between Johnny Cochran and his side and Marshall Clark and Darden. They were strategic in what they did. They figured out how to poke holes into everything, and that's how you win. Really, in the legal system, it is not. Come on, we all know it is not whether you are guilty or not, or whether you did it or not. It's just how it's presented and what the jury thinks. And all along, one of the jurors, she didn't believe it. She just didn't believe it. And that's what it comes down to. So part 5 we'll do next week, and we'll have Al High on. D Great in the building. Thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate the support. Make sure to subscribe to his channel as well. Enjoying the content you're putting out on StreamYard, on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere as well.
Hitmaker.
Yes, sir.
D Great to Hitmaker.
Yeah. All right. What's coming up tomorrow on the End of the Bench?
It's gonna be rough, man. That's what I was looking for a second ago. I deleted all my notes. Now I feel like an idiot.
No.
But no, I do have an idea. I gotta look at this title. I can't believe I deleted all my notes. That's crazy. Give me 2 seconds. I got to pull this up. Once I see the title, it'll trigger the things that I was gonna talk about. So to the people who pay me at night, y'all not gonna get all y'all money work. I gotta do my show. That's my side job. This is my real job. It's called a war against the truth. So basically, I'm gonna talk about how we've been bombarded with fake news. We get things like, okay, for example, 2 weeks ago I had a conversation with my supporters about how Black men have failed the Black community and we don't protect. There was this fake story that came out about this brother who, it's 2 fake stories out this week. One of them we laughed at, the other one we was like, whoa. The first one is a story that this Black man whose son got killed while reaching for his insurance papers, son got killed. He allegedly, the fake story was he waited 4 years till the police officer's daughter went to prom, showed up at her crib, shot the young lady, and sat on the curb. And when they arrested him, he said, an eye for an eye. I spoke about something along those lines. It ended up being a fake story. And, for a second, everybody was up in arms. Yeah. You have some people going, yeah. Other people going, oh, man, no, maybe not. But two of the most important people in my life sent me that story, right? 2 people that I vow to protect. They've sent that story to me, right? So I'm going to talk about that and how that affected people emotionally, mentally, and how maybe, I'll talk about that. And the second thing was this one brother who I propagated it. I shared it as well, but I didn't put it on social media, but I shared it to the homies. He was driving down the street. He was on.
This guy.
Okay, hold it. And on that. Y'all know that brother had his license.
So it wasn't suspended.
His license were not suspended. So he was been put out in front of the world as an entire fool.
Yeah. All over social media.
All over social media. So what we have to do, this gives us another reason to bombard the Roland Martins, the H-Rap Bs, the BS3s, the D Greats, the Chief Rockets and Knoxes, and whoever else is out here trying to promulgate the truth.
Yeah.
You know, we must be able to disseminate between a raw dog opinion and a fact.
Yeah.
We may assume that this dude, we may assume that this dude is a fool, but the fact was he wasn't a fool. We may assume that, we're being presented with all these falsehoods. And now it is a battle against the truth. Joe Biden is responsible for this. And we continue to obfuscate, like aforementioned Candace Owens earlier in the show, where I don't know anybody who using a degree. What's your degree in journalism? Don't you have a podcast?
Yeah. Aren't you using that right now?
Yeah, all the time.
Right.
But what we don't know is journalism 101 is to obfuscate.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ben, did you steal my car? H-Rap, man, I caught you stealing out my crib the other day. Or H-Rap, you be beating your wife. And now everybody, H-Rap be beating his wife. Now the conversation is no longer did you steal his car, it's do you beat your wife?
Exactly.
And we must learn the rules of engagement in order to play and win this game.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm going to talk about. It's a war against the truth. The truth is not being presented. Another piece of truth, I know I was going to talk about this, and I can watch this. Who believed in nonviolence, Dr. King or Malcolm X?
Both.
Exactly. Most people would call Malcolm X violent.
Yeah.
And he's never, violence is the attack.
Right.
Defense is never violent. If you punch me in my face, I'm not violent if I knock all your teeth out.
Right. He was talking about self-defense. Did he ever shoot anybody? Because everybody goes to the image with him in the window with the AK. If they were burning crosses on your lawn and you didn't know what they were going to do to your family, wouldn't you be defending your family?
Exactly. Defense is not the like when you see those Cape Buffalo destroying those female lions because they tried to attack one of them. They are not violent. They're defending themselves. They're defending their territory. And we must get out of this mind state of defending our image, defending our territory, defending our families is violent.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm going to talk about is we must be prepared for violence. We must no longer be reactive when it comes to this situation. We must stop laughing at everything isn't funny.
Yeah, you're right.
So, those are the things, and I got to rewrite the entire show now, but those are some of the things that I'm going to talk about. What are we're laughing, we're literally laughing at our demise.
Yeah.
We're going to laugh our way back into oppression. So those are the things I'm going to talk about, even though I don't know where my notes are. That's
hopefully you can redo or undo or something. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why they're still look. I wish I could send it. I could. No, you don't have an iPhone, but I have this notebook that I have literally the first day. You ready for this? The first day on this one particular notepad is June 6th. So that's a year of notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know where these notes are. Like, what are we laughing at? We are laughing ourselves into the grave. We have to get out of this position of the bang. I'm chasing that paper. And what?
Right.
You doom call.
Right.
So.
All right. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if there'll be a Queen 3 and King, maybe not, but BS3 Network, all avenues of social media. Make sure to also subscribe to the channels down below. The End of the Bench Media, where you can check out H-Rap tomorrow at 6 Central. So make sure to check that out and subscribe to the channels down below. Let me get to some final comments. The court went on too long also. Yeah, and I don't remember how long the trial was, but it was
9 months.
It was definitely a long time. And D Gray says, watching The Bear. Yeah, that's I watched season 1. I need to go back to watching that, but that is a good series. The actor from Shameless,
I've never seen Shameless.
You ever seen Shameless? Have you ever seen The Bear? I think it's based in Chicago. It's on
Hulu, Netflix.
Hulu. Yeah, it's on Hulu. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get back to watching that. I said look forward to next week. Definitely, sir. We look forward to having you on as well. Appreciate you jumping into the comments. Appreciate the suggestion as well. We definitely, that definitely does not go unnoticed. All right.
I can't believe I lost my notes.
Man, hopefully you get them back, man, because I know you had a lot of good content in there.
Really, I keep the structure. You know, my structure is the same.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to recreate it, but it was just like I know I had some dates and some time periods on there.
Yeah. And I appreciate that, Theodore. Thank you very much. Happy birthday again. And go ahead and close us out, Atro.
SCE. E is for everybody. YAM. L is because I love you. LATER. See y'all later. See y'all later. And y'all already know, man. It's the beginning of the month. I just paid my rent. So if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from Pop. Don't get swallowed.
Peace.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.